All right. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm going to talk about spiritual partnerships today. Spiritual partnerships in relationships. How is everyone doing? As usual, this is my BFF, my best friend forever, Leo. He is 5 years old. Seriously, I have no idea how I live my life without him. He just really changed my life completely. Before he came into my life, I've forgotten how to nurture. Actually, he helped me love myself so much more than I ever did in my life. All right, so broadcasting live from San Francisco, California. Let's get started. All right. Okay, so many people on the planet right now are learning to manifest a new kind of relationship. And this type of relationship is called a spiritual relationship or a sacred relationship. But what exactly is a spiritual relationships, and how do you call in this elevated relationship into your life, right? Because this is the kind of love that is very different from what you usually experience. Because what we usually experience as love, because a lot of the times when we are in a relationship, there is a lot of immature energy. There's a lot of attachment that can mimic love. There's a lot of trauma bonding, and that happens when we have childhood baggage, traumatic childhood experiences, and we basically end up with a relationship with another person that is also wounded as a child. So you have a relationship between these two wounded inner child with baggage, and that's called trauma bonding. And when I look back at I feel like I'm sweating. I'm like nervous or something when I'm talking to you. You guys make me nervous. Right. When I look back in my own life and in my relationship, I realized that a lot of the relationships that I was so in love with the other person and felt like I could not live my life without them, and a lot of highs and lows and a lot of drama, that is trauma bonding. It's not really a relationship that I feel safe. I feel like I was always tiptoeing around a relationship. I felt like I don't want to do anything wrong, or I can't do anything wrong because I don't know how to be able to cope without this person. So that is not a spiritual partnership. And when you are having a relationship that is a trauma bonding, you're actually having a relationship with the wounded inner child of that person, not the adult part of that person. And this type of trauma bonding, we learn it as children, and it plays out in our adult relationship. And another thing that can mimic love energy is karmic relationships. Okay. And karmic connections, karmic relationships are connections that have a lot of highs and lows, have a lot of karma, brings a lot of challenges so that we can learn lessons from them. Okay. It's not a relationship that you stay in because that person, it's not a relationship that you keep on staying in. If they abuse you in any kind of way, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, you don't stay. Those are toxic relationships, those are karmic relationships, those are not spiritual partnerships. In fact, a lot of people have a common misconception that twin flames are karmic relationships that have a lot of highs and lows. That is fake news. That is false. That is false. That is false information. Twin flames relationships are safe spiritual partnerships. Okay, it's not a relationship where you stay in because you love that person so much. Okay, that's fake news. That's not real. Twin flames is not what is that couple's name? Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They keep calling themselves twin flames, and they're doing like all this, like, you know, drinking each other's blood and like cutting on their whatever they're doing. It's just so over the top. Twin flames relationship are safe. It's actually pretty boring. You know, it's actually pretty boring relationship. It doesn't have that ding ding ding, the ding ding ding. It doesn't have that. Okay, and Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox have a lot of so they are not twin flames, even if they call themselves twin flames. Okay, I'm a little annoyed because they're giving this idea that toxic relationships are twin flames, and they are not. Okay, so a lot of the times we have karmic relationships with other souls is because we have a soul contract with them. Sometimes they come in for 5 minutes. Sometimes they come in for 6 years. Those connections have karmic energy. Those connections have karmic energy or karmic cords attached to it, and they are so powerful that initially it feels like it's love. Okay, it feels like if you feel so enmeshed with that person. Okay, and then later on, as we grow up, as we have been in other relationships, we start to feel that, as a matter of fact, the relationship that we had in the past, those were not really love. Those were karmic connections, bringing two people together so that they can learn from each other's mistakes and from their own mistakes. It's for their own evolve, and part of that learning is to learn how to leave the relationship. Okay. All right. So however, when it comes to like sacred partnerships or like spiritual partnerships, it's genuine love. It's a type of love where you wish for the other person's happiness and joy, and it's less exciting. It doesn't have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. You know, it's not like a emotional drama relationship. It is a stable, calm, peaceful, safe, foundational partnership. There are no masks. Okay, you're not pretending to be somebody else. You're not hiding from your partner. You are fully vulnerable. You are fully open. You present yourself 100% authentically in front of that person. Now, realize that this is very, very rare in our society, very, very rare, because we are always hiding even just a little bit from our partner. And a common example is when you go out with your friend to have coffee or whatever, and you really kind of want to vent and talk about your relationship. And so you talk about your partner with your friend, but then when you get home, you don't talk to your partner what you communicated to your friend. So you're not being fully authentic. So you're still hiding things from your partner. You're not being fully open. You're not being fully vulnerable. And in a spiritual partnership, all of those masks that you have starts to fall, starts to break down. all of the armor falls. You drop all of your stories. You stop hiding. You stop hiding both the good and the ugly. And I was gonna add something else, but all of a sudden I forgot what it was. Oh, okay, I remember now. So I, in the past, was very afraid that I am not going to be able to attract a partner because of my metaphysical and esoteric influence. I have my life is very, very influenced by the metaphysical and the esoteric. And for a long time, I felt like I will repel other people from being my partner because I'm just so weird, or maybe instead of calling myself weird, I'm so unique. And then I realize now that being myself would actually attract the right partner, because in the past I was just kind of like, I was not accepting myself. So yes. Another and so it is great when two people in that partnership can do that. When two people in a spiritual partnership can just sort of like start being honest with one another, because it can be scary to be vulnerable, because we have the tendency to hide things that we don't like about ourselves. But in this partnership, it starts to get easier and easier and easier. Oh, it's just so easy to tell you about my childhood trauma. um oh yeah, it just I'm just trying to find a word that will describe it. I mean, I'm single now, so I don't have a partner, but I do have friends. So like feeling safe, feeling home, feeling at home with somebody. Okay, feeling at home. That is the word that I'm looking for. A sense of feeling home. And because when you hide who you are, like when I hide that oh wow, I'm just like really into the esoteric, I believe in a higher power, and I believe in aliens. And I don't even say I believe in aliens. I know that there are aliens, but it's society would not accept that if I say I know there are aliens. So it's like if I say I believe in aliens, like I'm more accepted in society or whatever. Anyway, so yes, so hiding creates a barrier, and the more barriers that you have between you and the other person, the more distant you are. And so when I show all the things that I'm hiding, I'm coming closer and closer and closer to my partner. And that's where intimacy lies. And intimacy is how close can my heart get to your heart? How close energetically and emotionally and spiritually can I get my heart to your heart? Okay, that's the hallmark of true intimacy. And if I don't drop my mask, I can't really have true intimacy, right? There will always be some kind of a barrier. Okay, and sometimes a lot of people also they mistake spiritual partnerships as codependency. It's totally not the same. In spiritual partnership, codependency does not exist. Okay, in spiritual partnership, you don't need the other person to make you whole. Okay, you are both independent, whole beings. Because codependency is really an attachment type of energy where people lose boundaries. It could be one person in a relationship that lose boundaries, or two people in a relationship that loses boundaries, and they lose themselves in the connection. Okay, and this does not happen in a spiritual partnership, because both partners are fully independent and they stand on their own 2 feet. When they come together, they are adult, mature beings that come together and complement each other. Okay, they don't lose themselves in each other. They don't become enmeshed in the other partner to give them a sense of self-worth, because I have my own sense of self-worth. So codependence. So when it comes to codependency is when I do not have a strong sense of self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, and I end up using my partner as a way to bolster my self-confidence. And this is why people lose themselves in the connection. This is why I lose myself in the connection in the past, because without that partner, I feel like I don't have a sense of self. And all of this, looking back, as I'm telling this story to you right now, I'm just kind of really proud at how far I've come along, because in the past I really thought, who am I to sit here to tell you, like what a healthy relationship is? Because in the past I never thought I would understand what it is, and that it all starts with loving yourself. It all starts with being honest with yourself. That's the first step. If you lie to yourself, you're just gonna stall your progress. You're just gonna be stuck until until something happens that will sort of like rip your world apart, and that you have no choice but to change your perspective and evolve. Okay, so spiritual. Another thing about spiritual partnerships is that they use the connection to evolve, to ascend, to they know that their connection is not just a connection based on constant control and guilt tripping and always needing somebody to rescue you, because you're always needing someone to rescue you without learning how to do it themselves, without learning how to do it yourself. People in spiritual partnerships, they are aware that the connection is actually loving and at the same time challenging, but they understand that even though it's challenging, they know that they love each other, and so they are both driven to evolve in the connection. And so the partnership is a mutual drive for evolution. Okay, they're not afraid of breakdowns in the connection, because they know that breakdowns take them deeper. He's fast asleep. Take them deeper. I'm actually wishing that he starts dreaming, so that you can see him like dreaming. It's cute. All right. So it's a connection that is meant to accelerate their evolution. Okay, and this is a little scary sometimes, because it goes back again to the idea that I must share who I am. I must share my truth, what I feel, my desires, what is my highest good. I have to communicate that to the partner. I have to be open and honest in my communication. And communication is not just about talking, it's receiving the other person's truth. It's active listening. Oh yes, that's such a good word. It's active listening. It's open. It's not aggressive. You're not trying to wound your partner with your words. You are very careful with the way you speak, and so the communication is open, it's honest, it's not violent in any way. And you're good at listening, or at least you're learning how to be an active listener, so that you can not only give your truth and share your truth, but also receive. So this type of open communication of honesty, of being a really good listener, is a very different from how we get into an argument with our partner, because usually in relationships we scream at each other, right? Nobody's actually listening to one another. That's that's how we usually have arguments. And a spiritual partnerships is very beautiful. It's very powerful. And when you think about spiritual partnerships, there's also a mission that they have together. Okay, how do I say this? So there are three missions. Okay, there's the mission of partner A, and then partner B, and then the mission that you have together in the relationship, the combined mission. And this combined mission is really important. Uh, and and a lot of people in spiritual partnerships end up working together in their uh, end up working together, combining their passions, their interests, their missions to form something. So lastly, pay attention to who you're attracted to in your life. You know, are you attracted to people who are actively working on themselves, uh, and able to get over their challenges, or are you attached to the idea of trying to save someone from their own misery? Because you will not be able to save them from their own misery. Only the other person can do that. They have to learn how to do that. Otherwise they will never be able to save themselves. They will have to depend on somebody else. All right, so thank you for your time and for watching this video. Don't forget to visit my website, skepticturnmystic.com/freebie, where you can get a lot of free spiritual resources, from meditations, 5-day challenges, angel number affirmations, how to declutter your place, how decluttering helps you deepen your spirituality, all of that cool stuff. Alrighty, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon on another live session on whatever downloads that I get next. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye for now.